The wealthy don't just have more money, they own more assets. And most people spend their whole lives buying things that lose value instead of assets that build wealth. You're working 40 hours a week, trading time for money. Meanwhile, someone else is sleeping, and their assets are making them money. Same 24 hours, different strategy, completely different outcome. Here's the truth. The difference between staying broke and becoming wealthy isn't how much you earn, it's what you own. Assets make you rich. Everything else keeps you busy. The average millionaire has 7 income streams, not 7 jobs, but 7 assets working simultaneously. But here's what you're probably wondering. What assets are actually making people rich right now? Which ones can you start building even with limited money? How do you know which assets are worth your time and which are just distractions? And most importantly, how do you go from owning nothing to owning assets that pay you forever? Today I'm breaking down all 15. Hit subscribe and comment asset owner if you're ready to stop working for money and start making money work for you. Let's start with the assets everyone knows but most people still don't own. Asset number 1. Why real estate builds more millionaires than anything else. Here's a stat that'll blow your mind. More millionaires have been created through real estate than any other asset class in history. Not crypto, not stocks, not businesses, real estate. Why? Because it's the only asset where someone else pays for it while you own it. Think about it. You buy a rental property, put down 20%. The bank gives you the other 80%. Your tenant pays the mortgage, insurance, taxes, and maintenance through their rent. And you're building equity, using other people's money while the property appreciates. That's not investing, that's financial jujitsu. But here's where people mess up. They think you need to be rich to buy real estate. Backwards. You need real estate to become rich. The wealthy figured out that real estate gives you 3 wealth-building engines simultaneously. Cash flow from rent, appreciation over time, and massive tax benefits that make the IRS basically subsidize your wealth building. And leverage? Forget about it. Where else can you control a $300,000 asset with $60,000 down? You just 5x'd your money's impact. That property appreciates 5%. You didn't make $15,000 on your $60,000. You made 5 times that because you controlled the whole property. Start options. House hacking. Buy a duplex, live in one unit, rent the other, live for free. REITs if you don't want to deal with tenants, or partner with someone who has experience but needs capital. The excuse I hear, I can't afford a down payment. Okay, can you afford to pay someone else's mortgage as a renter? You're already paying for real estate, you just don't own it. That's not financial safety, that's financial self-sabotage with a lease agreement. Your move. Start researching markets, learning financing options, and connecting with investors. Real estate isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-for-sure strategy if you're patient. But that's just the obvious part. Because real estate takes time and management. What if you want to build wealth with 0 effort and a laptop? Asset number 2, the stock market asset nobody talks about. Let me save you years of pain and money lost. Stop trying to pick individual stocks. You're not smarter than the market. Neither am I. Neither are most professional investors who get paid millions to do this full-time. You know what beats them? Boring, unsexy, mind-numbingly simple index funds. Here's the math that changes everything. Invest $500 per month into an S&P 500 index fund for 30 years. Assuming historical 10% average returns, you've got over $1.1 million. That's it. That's the formula. No stock picking, no market timing, no watching CNBC like it's a sport. But people don't do this because it's not exciting. They want to find the next Tesla, the next Amazon. They want to tell their friends about the stock they picked that went up 300%. You know what's better than a story? A 7-figure retirement account. Pick one. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor ever, has a standing instruction. When he dies, 90% of his wife's inheritance goes into index funds, not individual stocks, not hedge funds. Index funds. If it's good enough for Warren's wife, it's probably good enough for you. The beauty of index funds, you own a piece of the entire market. 500 companies working for you. Some go up, some go down. But overall, the market trends up over time. You're not betting on companies, you're betting on capitalism. And historically, that's been a very safe bet. Start today. Open a brokerage account. Choose a low-cost S&P 500 index fund like VOO or SPY. Set up automatic monthly investments. Then forget about it for 30 years. Seriously. Don't check it. Don't panic during crashes. Just let compound interest do its magic. Picking stocks makes you feel smart. Index funds make you rich. Choose wisely. And what I'm about to say is what makes the difference. Because index funds grow your money. But what if you want your money to pay you while you sleep? Asset number 3. The dividend machine. Stocks that pay you to own them. Imagine owning a piece of a company that mails you a check every 3 months just for being an owner. You do nothing. The check arrives. That's dividend stocks, and it's the closest thing to legal passive income you'll ever find. Here's how it works. Certain companies, usually big, stable, boring ones like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, share their profits with shareholders quarterly. You own the stock, you get paid. Simple, beautiful, recurring. The real magic happens with dividend aristocrats, companies that have increased their dividend payouts for 25 consecutive years or more. These aren't risky startups. These are companies that have survived recessions, crashes, and every economic disaster while still paying shareholders more every single year. Let's do the math. You invest $50,000 in a portfolio yielding 4% in dividends. That's $2,000 per year in passive income. Reinvest those dividends to buy more shares, which pay more dividends, which buy more shares. That's compound interest on autopilot. In 30 years, assuming dividend growth and reinvestment, that $50,000 becomes over $300,000. You didn't time markets or pick winners. You just owned good companies and collected checks. The mindset shift. You're not hoping the stock price goes up so you can sell. You're collecting income while you own it. Price drops? Great. Buy more shares at a discount and collect bigger dividends. You stop caring about daily price swings and start caring about dividend checks hitting your account. Start here. Buy dividend ETFs like VYM or SCHD or individual dividend aristocrats. Set dividends to automatically reinvest. Then ignore it and watch the machine build wealth while you sleep. Own pieces of businesses that mail you checks quarterly. That's not investing. That's getting paid to be patient. Wait. There's something you need to pay attention to if you don't want to lose everything. Because dividends are great, but there's one account that makes every investment better through pure tax magic. Asset number 4. Your retirement accounts, the tax-advantaged gold mine. Let's talk about the free money most people are too lazy to pick up. Employer 401k matching. Your company literally says for every dollar you contribute, we'll give you 50 cents, or sometimes a full dollar for free. And somehow, 40% of people don't max this out. That's not being conservative with money. That's refusing a raise. If your employer matches up to 6% and you're contributing 3%, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table every year. That's not smart budgeting. That's financial malpractice. Here's why retirement accounts are wealth-building cheat codes. Tax advantages. Traditional 401k and IRA? You contribute pre-tax dollars, reducing your taxable income today. Roth IRA and Roth 401k? You pay taxes now, but withdraw tax-free in retirement. Either way, the IRS is giving you a massive edge that doesn't exist in regular brokerage accounts. Let me show you the power. Contribute $6,000 per year to a Roth IRA starting at age 25. By 65, assuming 8% average returns, you've got over $2 million, tax-free. Not taxed when you withdraw, completely tax-free. The IRS basically said you can have $2 million and we won't touch it. And people still don't max their IRA. Unbelievable. The bare minimum move. Contribute enough to capture your full employer match. That's non-negotiable. It's free money. Beyond that, max your Roth IRA if you're young. Then increase 401k contributions annually. Not maxing your 401k match is literally refusing a raise. And if you're refusing free money because you can't afford it, you definitely can't afford not to. Cut something else. This is your future self begging you to care. But that's just the surface. What's behind it is what will startle people. Because stocks and retirement accounts are great when times are good. But what about when everything crashes? Asset number 5. Precious metals. Gold and silver won't make you rich. Let's get that out of the way. But they will protect your wealth when everything else is on fire. Think of precious metals as financial insurance, not a growth investment. Here's the history lesson nobody wants to hear. Every paper currency in human history has eventually failed. Every single one. The dollar, the euro, the yen, they're all experiments in progress. But gold has been valuable for 5,000 years. It'll be valuable 5,000 years from now. That's not speculation, that's historical fact. When currencies collapse, when governments fail, when markets crash, gold holds value. It's not correlated to stocks or real estate, which means when everything else tanks, gold often goes up. That's why smart investors keep 5 to 10% of their portfolio in physical gold and silver. Not to get rich, but to stay rich during chaos. The mistake people make, they buy gold hoping it'll double overnight. Wrong mindset. You buy gold hoping you never need it, but knowing it's there if the economy implodes. It's like homeowners insurance. You're not excited about paying for it, but you're damn glad you have it when the roof caves in. Start simple. Buy physical gold and silver, coins or bars. Store them somewhere safe. Or buy gold ETFs like GLD if you don't want to deal with storage. Keep it as 5 to 10% of your portfolio. That's it. When everything else fails, gold still has value. It's not sexy, it's not exciting. It's just 5 millennia of proof that some things outlast governments, currencies, and economic systems. It sounds simple, but the hardest part is what's about to be told next. Because these traditional assets are powerful, but the digital revolution created entirely new wealth-building machines most people are completely missing. Asset number 6, online businesses. The laptop millionaire asset. Here's the difference between a job and a business. A job pays you for your time. A business pays you for results. And an online business? That pays you for results while you're not even there. The internet broke the old rules. You no longer need a storefront, inventory, employees, or a massive startup loan. You need a laptop, Wi-Fi, and a skill people will pay for. That's it. The barrier to entry is lower than it's ever been. Yet most people still trade time for money like it's 1950. Think about it. Someone runs a digital marketing agency from their apartment. No office, no commute. They have clients in 5 countries they've never visited. They make $200,000 a year working 20 hours a week because they built systems that run without them. Meanwhile, their college roommate makes $60,000 working 50 hours a week at a corporate job. Stuck in traffic, answering to a boss. Same education, different thinking. The beauty of online businesses, they scale beyond your hours. A service business where you trade hours for dollars caps your income. But an online business with the right systems, you can serve 10 clients or 10,000. The infrastructure doesn't change much, but your revenue explodes. Start options. Service business if you have a skill. Marketing, design, writing, consulting, e-commerce if you can source or create products, affiliate marketing if you can drive traffic. Software as a service is if you can solve a recurring problem. The excuse I always hear, I don't know how to start a business. Neither did anyone else before they started. You learn by doing. The internet has free tutorials for literally everything. The only thing stopping you is your willingness to look stupid while learning. A job pays you for time, a business pays you for value, and an online business pays you for the value you created years ago that's still working today. Don't jump to conclusions, because what comes next can change your perspective completely. Because running a business takes ongoing work. But what if you could build something once and sell it infinitely? Asset number 7, digital products. Create once, sell forever. This is the closest thing to a money printer that's actually legal. Create a digital product once, sell it forever, with zero inventory costs, zero shipping, and pure profit. Let me paint the picture. You spend 3 weeks creating an online course teaching a skill you already have. You sell it for $97. First month, 10 people buy it. That's $970. Second month, 20 people. Third month, 50 people. By month 12, you've made over $60,000 from 3 weeks of work. And here's the kicker. That course keeps selling next year and the year after and the year after that. You created it once. It pays you forever. That's the power of digital products. Ebooks, courses, templates, stock photos, software, design assets, Excel spreadsheets, Notion templates. If it can be downloaded, it can be sold infinitely without you touching it again. Compare that to physical products. You sell a t-shirt, you have to make another t-shirt. You sell a coffee, you have to make another coffee. Digital products, sell it to one person or 10,000 people. Your costs don't change. That's not just good business, that's absurd leverage. The mindset shift. Your knowledge isn't just what you know, it's a product you can package and sell. That skill you take for granted? Someone else is desperately trying to learn it and will pay for a shortcut. Start simple. Solve one specific problem for one specific audience. Don't try to teach marketing. Teach email marketing for yoga instructors. Narrow wins. Build it. Put it on Gumroad or Teachable. Drive traffic. Collect money. Your knowledge is packaged as an ATM that never closes. The only question is whether you'll actually package it or keep trading hours for dollars until you retire. You think you've understood everything? There's a detail that few people notice, but it's extremely important because digital products are sold once, but there's an asset that keeps working for you years after you create it. Asset number 8, content that compounds your media empire. Here's something wild. I know YouTubers earning 5 figures per month from videos they posted 3 years ago. They're literally making money from work they did when the previous president was in office. That video is still being watched, still serving ads, still generating revenue. They created it once. It pays them forever. That's the power of content that compounds. A blog post you wrote in 2020 ranks on Google and drives traffic in 2025. A YouTube video from 2 years ago goes viral today. A podcast episode becomes someone's favorite and they binge your entire catalog. Content doesn't expire, it accumulates value. Most people think content creation is posting on social media. Wrong. Social media is renting attention. Content platforms like YouTube, blogs, and podcasts are buying digital real estate. Your content lives there permanently, working for you 24/7, compounding views and earnings. The monetization is stacked. Ad revenue from platforms, sponsorships from brands, affiliate commissions from product links. Your own products are sold to your audience. One piece of content can generate income from 4 different sources simultaneously, and it keeps working while you sleep, eat, travel, or create the next piece. Start strategically. Pick one platform. YouTube, if you can talk on camera. Blog, if you prefer writing. Podcast, if audio is your thing. Commit to posting consistently for 6 months before judging results. Most people quit at week 3 and wonder why it didn't work. One viral video can pay you for a decade. One well-ranked article can drive traffic for years. One popular podcast episode can become an evergreen funnel to your business. Stop renting attention on social media. Start building assets on content platforms. And it's in the next section that many people make mistakes without even knowing it. Creating content is one thing, but protecting what you create, that's where generational wealth hides. Asset number 9, intellectual property while you sleep. Stephen King writes a book once. He gets paid for the rest of his life. Every time someone buys that book, he gets a royalty. He wrote it decades ago. It's still making money. That's not income. That's intellectual property. Patents, trademarks, copyrights, music rights. These are assets that pay you repeatedly for work you did once. You create something, protect it legally, and then collect checks every time someone uses it. It's the ultimate leverage. Think about musicians. Write a hit song once, and every time it plays on Spotify, in a commercial, in a movie, or at a wedding, you get paid. One song can generate millions over a lifetime. The work was done years ago. The payments keep coming. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't have to be Stephen King or Beyoncé. You can copyright an ebook. A trademark is a brand. Patent a simple invention. Register your creative work. The moment you protect it legally, you've created an asset. The biggest mistake, creating valuable intellectual property and not protecting it. You write a book but don't copyright it. You invent something but don't patent it. Someone else swoops in, protects it, and profits from your work. Don't be that person. Start here. If you create anything, writing, music, inventions, brands, designs, protect it. File copyrights. Apply for patents. Register trademarks. It's not expensive, and it turns your creation into a legal asset that pays you repeatedly. Create something once, get paid forever. That's not ambition. That's just understanding how intellectual property works. And if you're creating things and not protecting them, you're leaving money on the table that could fund your retirement. Wait. The most important part is in the following story. Because intellectual property is powerful, but what if you could buy and sell pieces of the internet itself? Asset number 10, domain names and websites, digital real estate. Remember when people were buying land in the 1800s for pennies and selling it for fortunes? That's happening right now with domain names and websites. Except instead of physical land, it's digital real estate. And most people are sleeping on it. Here's the play. Buy a great domain name for $10 to $50. Hold it. Sell it for thousands or tens of thousands when someone needs it for their business. People have bought domains for $12 and sold them for $50,000. It's not rare. It's a documented business model. Or better yet, build a simple niche website. Write content, drive traffic, monetize with ads or affiliates. Once it's generating consistent monthly revenue, sell it for 30 to 50 times the monthly profit. A site making $1,000 per month sells for $30,000 to $50,000. You just turn sweat equity into a lump sum. The internet is the new land rush. Every business needs a domain. Every brand needs a website. And if you own the digital real estate they want, you name the price. Companies will pay absurd amounts for the perfect domain because their entire brand depends on it. Start small. Register brandable domain names in growing industries. AI tools, sustainability, health tech, or build micro-niche websites on topics you know. Get them to $500 to $1,000 monthly profit, then list them on Flippa or Empire Flippers. The beauty? Low entry cost, high potential upside, and you're participating in the largest shift of commerce in human history. Every business is going online. They all need domains and websites. You can either own them or watch someone else profit. The internet is real estate. Domains are the land. Websites are the houses. Start buying. I'll tell you something that many people regret for the rest of their lives. Just because they didn't realize it in time. Because all these external assets are powerful, but there's one asset you carry with you that nobody can ever take away. What digital asset are you building right now? Or which one are you starting this week? Asset number 11. Your skills, the asset nobody can take. You can lose your house in a market crash, your stocks can tank, your business can fail, your savings can get wiped out by inflation or bad decisions. But you know what nobody can ever take from you? Your skills. High-income skills are portable wealth. Sales, marketing, copywriting, design, coding, public speaking. These aren't just skills, they're assets that follow you everywhere. Lose everything tomorrow, and if you have a valuable skill, you can rebuild in months instead of years. Here's what separates high-income skills from regular skills. Regular skills pay you to do a task. High-income skills pay you to solve expensive problems. Anyone can learn to use Excel. Few can use data analysis to save a company millions. One gets you $50,000 a year. The other gets you $150,000 plus equity. The math is simple. Your earning power is determined by your skill stack. One valuable skill is good. Two complementary skills are exponentially better. Writing plus marketing? you're a content strategist. Coding plus design, you're a product builder worth 6 figures. And here's the part most people miss. Skills compound. Every skill you add multiplies the value of the skills you already have. Learn sales, then learn psychology. You're now a top-tier closer. Learn marketing, then learn data. You're now indispensable. Start strategically. Identify one high-income skill that aligns with where you want to go. Sales if you want to build a business. Copywriting if you want location freedom. Coding if you want to build products. Then obsess over mastering it completely. You can lose money, you can lose property, you can lose opportunities. But skills? Skills stay with you forever. They're the one asset that's truly yours. Build them relentlessly. All of the above will be meaningless if you miss the last detail. Because skills get you in the door, but this next asset determines what doors open in the first place. Asset number 12, your network. Who you know, what you're worth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The $1 million opportunity won't come through a LinkedIn job posting or a Google search. It'll come through someone you know who says, "Hey, you'd be perfect for this." Your network isn't just who you know. It's who knows you, trusts you, and thinks of you when opportunity appears. And that asset is worth more than your college degree, your resume, and your certifications combined. Think about how most major deals actually happen. Someone needs something. They don't post a job listing or send out RFPs. They text someone they trust and say, "Know anyone who can help?" If you're in that person's network, you're in the deal. If you're not, you don't even know the opportunity existed. Your net worth follows your network, not because you're using people. That's sleazy and it backfires, but because opportunities flow through relationships. Jobs, partnerships, investments, clients, mentors, knowledge, all come through people you know. Here's where most people fail. They only network when they need something. They reach out after months of silence, asking for favors. That's not networking, that's being a mooch. Real networking is providing value first, building genuine relationships, and staying in touch even when you don't need anything. The difference between a 50K network and a 500K network isn't the number of connections, it's the quality and depth. 5 people who take your call at midnight and vouch for you are worth more than 5,000 LinkedIn connections who vaguely recognize your name. Start today. Add value first. Introduce people, share opportunities, help without expecting return. Stay in touch. Be genuinely interested. Build relationships, not transactions. The most valuable deals aren't posted online. They're whispered between people who trust each other. Make sure you're in those conversations. This is where everything comes together, because network opens doors. But if you're too sick, tired, or dead to walk through them, what's the point? Asset number 13, your health. The asset that enables all others. Let me ask you a question. What's the point of building a $10 million empire if you're too sick to enjoy it? What's the point of financial freedom if you're too exhausted to use the freedom? What's the point of wealth if you die at 52 from a stress-induced heart attack? Your health is the asset that enables all other assets. Without it, nothing else works. And yet, it's the first thing people sacrifice while building wealth. They sleep 4 hours, eat garbage, skip exercise, ignore stress, and tell themselves, "I'll focus on health once I make it." Newsflash, you won't make it. Or if you do, you'll be too broken to enjoy it. I know people worth millions who trade it all for the health they destroyed getting there. That's not success. That's a bad trade. Here's the math nobody talks about. Healthy people are more productive. They have better energy, sharper focus, and longer working capacity. They don't lose weeks to illness. They don't burn out and need months to recover. Health isn't separate from wealth. Health accelerates wealth. Sleep, exercise, nutrition, these aren't luxuries. They're non-negotiables. You can't outwork bad health. You can't out-hustle a broken body. And you definitely can't buy back the years you stole from yourself by ignoring basic self-care. Start with the basics, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Move your body daily, eat real food most of the time. Manage stress before it manages you. That's it. Not complicated, just consistent. What's the point of wealth if you're too sick to enjoy it? Build the money, but protect the body. Because one without the other is just a different kind of poverty. But there are two more assets most people completely overlook, and they're the ones that determine whether you stay stuck or actually break free. Asset number 14, your time, the only asset you can't replace. Here's the asset that makes all other assets irrelevant if you waste it. Your time. It's the only resource you can't buy, borrow, or get back. Once it's gone forever. Rich people understand something broke people don't. Money is replaceable. Time isn't. You can lose $1 million and make it back. You can't lose 10 years and get them back. Ever. Which is why wealthy people obsess over buying back their time while broke people obsess over saving $5. Think about it. You spend 2 hours driving across town to save $30 on groceries. Congratulations. You just valued your time at $15 per hour. Meanwhile, someone else pays for delivery, uses those 2 hours to work on their business, and makes $500. Same 2 hours. Different thinking. Completely different outcome. The shift happens when you stop asking, how can I save money? And start asking, how can I buy back my time? Hire someone to clean your house so you can work on your side business. Pay for meal prep so you're not cooking every night. Outsource tasks that don't require your unique skills. Every hour you spend doing low-value work is an hour you can't spend on high-value work. And that opportunity cost compounds. You're not just losing that hour, you're losing everything that hour could have built. Start tracking. Where does your time actually go? How much are you trading your irreplaceable hours for replaceable tasks? What could you delegate, automate, or eliminate? Rich people use money to buy time. Broke people trade time for money. And time is the only asset that once spent can never be reclaimed. Treat it like the non-renewable resource it is. And the final asset? It's the one that makes or breaks everything. Because you can have all the skills, money, and time in the world, but without this, doors stay closed. Asset number 15, your reputation, the asset that opens doors. Let me tell you about the asset that's worth more than your bank account and more powerful than your resume. Your reputation. It opens doors money can't open and destroys opportunities money can't save. Warren Buffett said it best, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. One lie, one betrayal, one public meltdown. Done. Your reputation, the thing you spent decades building, gets torched because you couldn't control yourself for 5 minutes. But here's what's crazy. A good reputation is like compound interest for opportunities. Do what you say. Deliver more than promised. Treat people well, even when there's no immediate benefit. Word spreads. Slowly at first, then exponentially. Suddenly, you're the person people recommend without being asked. That's not networking. That's reputation working for you 24/7. Your reputation determines who trusts you with their money, their time, their referrals, and their insider information. Bad reputation? You're locked out of rooms you didn't even know existed. Good reputation? Doors open before you knock. And here's the brutal part. You can't buy reputation. You can't fake it. You can't shortcut it. It's built through consistent behavior over the years. Every interaction is a deposit or withdrawal. Every promise kept or broken, every person helped or screwed over. It all compounds. The mistake people make, they think reputation is about being liked. Wrong. It's about being trusted. Likeable gets you invited to parties. Trustworthy gets you invited to deals. Start now. Protect your name like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Do what you say. Underpromise and overdeliver. Treat people well. Keep your word even when it costs you. Your reputation is your brand. Your brand is your value, and your value determines what opportunities you find. This is the complete picture. Now you know the 15 assets, but knowing and building are different. Here's how to actually start. 15 assets. 1 principle. The wealthy own things that appreciate and generate income. Everyone else owns things that depreciate and cost money. Choose your category. Here's your move. Pick 3 assets from this list. 1 foundation asset, real estate or index funds. 1 digital asset, online business or content. 1 personal asset, skills or network. Start building all 3 this month. Even if you start small, $100 into index funds, 1 blog post, 1 skill course. Just start. Comment asset owner if you're committed to building real wealth. Hit that subscribe button for more asset building strategies without the fluff. Share this with someone who needs to stop buying liabilities and start building assets. Which asset should I break down in detail next? Real estate for beginners? Building digital products? Drop your vote below. Remember, you don't need a high income to build wealth. You need to own assets. Start building today, because 10 years from now you'll wish you started today. Don't give future you that regret.